Alright, here we go. This is a custom 1v1 on Simple between the red player on the left side, mvpatel2000 in the classic Osprey, and his opponent, the blue player on the right side, mrnoone1 in the steampunk Helix. And this is Christmas time, guys, or at least holiday time, I guess you can say. As you can see, the forts are decorated with wreaths and bows and Christmas lights, I guess, or are they even lights? I'm not even sure. No. Oh yeah, there are lights. There is a string of lights, and you know, snowflake. I think it's called snowflake exhaust, and as you will see later, mvpatel does have these snowflake tracers, so it will look like he's shooting snowflakes out. And I think when they hit something, they do explode in snowflakes. But mvpatel going straight with boomers here. I don't know why he's going with boomers. I guess because that's his only infantry, but I guess he could have easily picked up the initial infantry. Oh, but where did they go? They went straight for the jackals, and I think most of them, I think probably 2 or 3 of them were killed by the jackals, so they were killed immediately. mrnoone1 not even grabbing this initial outpost, but already going for the mid attack with his 2 honeypots, 1 longhorn, and 1 buster. Definitely a little bit ahead of the fight versus mvpatel, but mvpatel in that Osprey definitely going to have a better advantage doing his leapfrog and heal up thing. He will be able to create a much healthier in terms of, you know, total health, actually, in terms of total health that they can still keep on each of the units, because he does not have to rely on healing units. He does have 2 ratchets out, but because of that Osprey, because of his healing ability, and I think he already does have level 1, yeah, level 1 heal, so he will be able to keep him alive a little bit longer. It does have busters, but mrnoone1 already here with an artillery out on the field. And so that is definitely shooting right into mvpatel's cluster of units. Let's see it shoot. Let's just wait and see it shoot. Come on, there you go. And it did shoot in. mrnoone now not with too many units over here. mvpatel definitely has more. I'm not really exactly sure why. I guess is mrnoone floating a little bit more? Just a little bit, but mvpatel now grabbing this middle outpost under his control, gonna go down really fast. There's pretty much no point in him actually taking that outpost, and does try to put a longhorn way out there, maybe to distract from enemy fire, but I mean, nothing is attacking in terms of these 2 enemy unit clusters, so I guess that longhorn was there to just do whatever damage or distract mrnoone or whatever. But mvpatel with a longhorn at mrnoone1's front door corner. And see, it's saying front door nowadays because front door does not have double damage, it is the corner, so front door doesn't actually make sense. So I will probably go with something like bottom corner or bottom left corner or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but the important thing is corners do take double damage, and it's not the front door nowadays, people. And mrnoone and mvpatel now creating quite the line, the standoff of units here. If mrnoone drops anything, you know, right there in the middle, mvpatel will definitely be not E, but all those busters will pretty much kill everything immediately. And yeah, that's just the one thing that that cluster of busters will do. Assuming that mvpatel can actually keep everything alive. mrnoone dropping a creep, but mvpatel straight. I mean, it doesn't really matter, you know, right now. And mrnoone with a lot of jackals in queue. Let's see what he decides to do with these, where he decides to go. Lots of secret missiles following. Definitely detrimental to your outpost energy if you let them all hit you and follow them all back. mrnoone just dropping for shooting here. Oh, not really a good decision. Probably gonna go down. But mvpatel, is he gonna be able to stalk him here? No, does drop for the fire, but mrnoone getting all the way back to his outpost. mvpatel does pin him down. Let's see if mrnoone can get, okay, does get a good transform timing off, and just lifts up those jokers out of his outpost, and creating quite a cluster of jokers over here. No one has really been able to take control of this outpost, really. This is very, very similar to the artillery trench warfare patches that we had in the past, and you know, the post-artillery nerf, just straight up unit trench warfare, where each player or each team would create a cluster of units on each side of the middle outpost, or whatever outpost was under contest. And mrnoone sending all these jokers out, and I think he did, I'm pretty sure he set them on attack. They have been able to neutralize that close outpost of mvpatel. He might be able to actually drop them, drop some infantry and take that close outpost, but no, instead he does bring a buster to that top right corner. and mvpatel gonna be able to keep a lot of these units alive with his Osprey heal. These Jokers just firing in, and nothing's actually really, they're not really putting down too much damage, but they are doing a pretty good amount of damage considering how, you know, their unit type or their weapon type. They are not, you know, they don't have heavy weapon, and to be honest, this number of units, you know, assuming these were some kind of tank, you know, with a higher DPS or higher weapon, mvpatel would probably be pretty much dead by now. But mrnoone1 just firing in. Some of his Jokers are still firing in, and will be finished down here on the ground. Does not lift off. Yes, he does get finished off by mvpatel there, and mvpatel finally able to finish off the majority of mrnoone1's units there. And now we'll go back to the fight. He's almost dead. mrnoone1 might be able to finish this off with just drops. However, on simple, it's a little bit hard to get all the way to your enemy fort, especially because it is so linear, and everything that your enemy sees is pretty much the entire map's, you know, height. And mrnoone1 respawning, but not coming back to the fight. And mvpatel taking this middle outpost, and mrnoone1 losing a lot of time here, and probably going to lose a couple units over here, especially since mvpatel will be able to start leapfrogging out. Why is mrnoone1 not moving? Is he a little bit AFK? Oh no. Why is he not moving? mvpatel just going to be able to clear the rest of his unit cluster. Now mrnoone1 is finally back in the fight, clearing his Longhorn queue for Jokers, and mvpatel will definitely be able to follow him back here to this fort attack. And mrnoone1 does not drop at a corner. It drops kind of at the side, so will not be able to get that double damage. Not really too much damage going down anyway. And mrnoone1 now creating a cluster of Jokers. Let's see how far you can get with that. mvpatel just going to be able to secure this mid, probably going to prioritize on keeping this mid and not losing it, because mid on simple is pretty much everything. However, mrnoone1 with this cluster of Jokers might be able to just send and get the final kill right now. mvpatel just one at a time, putting no pressure on the opponent, just keeping that outpost secure, and now goes with, let's see, he didn't bring anything to the front door, but now we have kind of a base race. I'm not really sure if this is going to be quite a base race, but a lot of Jokers coming out for mrnoone1, and a lot of Busters and a Longhorn coming out for mvpatel. mrnoone1 drops a Longhorn at that back corner. Will this actually be able to get a lot of damage? Oh, it is hitting the corner, so we'll be getting double damage, and these Jokers are hitting the front door, or, you know, hitting the front, but mrnoone1's fort is kind of under danger, but I think this is going to be enough. mvpatel going down to mrnoone1 here on this 1v1 on simple. Oh man, and that is that, ladies and gentlemen. So much damage during that initial Joker push. mvpatel was not able to get too much blockage off, and you know, to be honest, they do quite a lot more damage to forts than they probably should, especially comparatively to the old armor system, where Jackals were pretty much just tickling. And Joker and Jackal have pretty much switched roles, so you can pretty much consider those as the Jackals of the previous versions of the game. It was a little ridiculous how fast that life was draining, but mrnoone1 with a little bit of extra fire as well, and that Longhorn drop was able to get mvpatel's life low enough, definitely, so he was able to get that finish with that last Joker push and that Longhorn drop at the corner. So mvpatel's base race, if you can really even call it that, did not work. So guys, if you see or spectate or play any replays or any games that that are this cool, or I don't know how to describe this one actually. Base race. Everyone loves base races, right? Sort of. Anyway, so yeah, guys, send them in ruizerix@gmail.com, or you can also message me on Steam at RUI. So yeah, guys, this is RUI, and that's game. See you next time.